Hello friends, welcome to Freedom Homestead. My name is Tangi and today we're in the kitchen doing something that I have been looking forward to for a little while, and that is making bone broth with beef bones.
What makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine. What makes your spirit grow? Knowing that she'll be mine.
So we just recently got a steer. We got a whole steer, and I was sure to ask for the bones so I could make beef bone broth for my pantry. So that is what we are doing today. So let's get started. Now, one of the cool things about making bone broth is that you can actually, we have workers out there. I feel so awkward. Anyway, one of the things that I enjoy about making and canning bone broth, it can actually be done over a period of several days. It doesn't have to all happen within a couple of days. So what we're going to do is we are first going to roast off the bones in an oven at 400 degrees for at least an hour. I actually like to salt mine. I sprinkled mine with a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. You don't have to do that. That was just a step that I chose to take. And then after it has roasted, I threw it in my roaster with some filtered water, a few splashes of raw apple cider vinegar, some seasonings that included salt, garlic, peppercorns, bay leaves, and then I threw in a bunch of vegetables, celery, carrots, and onions. Then I let that simmer. I set it at 250 and I let that simmer for about 24 hours. I will say that at night I did turn it down to 200, and then when I got up in the morning I turned it back up to 250. After about 24 hours had passed, I turned the roaster off and I let the broth cool a bit. I probably let it sit for a couple of hours just for that temperature to come down some. Then I strained off the broth. I took them down to the basement refrigerator, put those in there, and let them stay in there for a couple of days. Now, this is where you have some flexibility on time. I think as long as you get to the broth and can it within the week, you're safe. But you could do it the next day if you wanted to. You could do it a few days if you wanted to. Just try to get to it within a week. Okay friends, I've got wet head, just got out of the shower, but I wanted to do this before the workers come, which will be here in about 15 minutes. So I wanted to get through this talking part. All right, so we've got our bone broth over here. I just pulled it out of the fridge. After it cooked for about 24 hours, I just strained it off. I put it in these jars and I put them in the refrigerator. And the reason why I did that, I wanted the fat to come to the top so I can scrape it off. It's still gonna have fat in it, but this will be less fat. I'm gonna put this broth into a stock pot and get it nice and hot. I'm also going to get out my canner. I've got my jars washed. They're sitting over here, and I'm going to put those in the oven just so they can get really nice and hot. And then we're going to pressure can these babies. So
what makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine. What makes your spirit grow? Knowing that she'll be mine. Tater bug, my potatoes. Tater bug, don't want my tomatoes. Tater bug, coming out to get.
To heat and sanitize my jars, I bake them in the oven at 170 degrees for at least 15 minutes. I fill the jar with hot broth, leaving 1 inch of headspace. Then I wipe the rim with a dampened cloth or paper towel that has been dampened with white vinegar. White vinegar cuts the grease and does a great job of making sure there's no debris left on the rim that will prevent a good seal. Then I add my lids and my bands, and today I'm using the lids and bands from Forjars. I was really excited when they reached out to me. I'd been hearing really great things, and they definitely live up to the hype. I love that the lids are slightly thicker than their competitors. It really gives me confidence in it, and I have to say that I definitely trust Forjars to my hard work and to my food safety. If you're interested in purchasing, there is a link down below as well as a discount code. I think you'll be impressed with the product as well as the shipping. Super fast.
Tater bug, eating my potatoes. Tater bug, don't want my tomatoes. Tater bug, what makes you so
So I've got my jars loaded at the canner. I've got 6 quarts and 1.5 pint jar. So the rule of thumb is if you have a 1.5 pint jar, you will process it like you would a quart size jar. So these are going to process for 25 minutes. And as a friendly reminder, if you are new to canning, the pressure at which you will process your jars depends on your elevation. So make sure that you do your research to know what that is for you. For my elevation, it is 10 pounds of pressure. So that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions or if you have any advice, please be sure to leave them in the comment section. And as always, until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. God bless you all.
Tater bug eating all my money. What makes your garden grow?